Purple?
This is the same place as your tie.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could.
Heyo, mic check 1 2 3 4 5. Check check check.
Coverage you can count on. You're watching WTVM News Leader Now. Sponsored by Montlick & Associates, Columbus Injury Attorneys.
People shocked when an armed man walked into a Columbus bank and demanded money.
We have the latest on what took place in their report coming up.
Plus, a new commanding general here at Fort Benning will add to the list of changes the Post has seen in the past year. Find out what issues he plans to address while on the job.
And we're tracking some showers out there on the radar network tonight, and also rain in the forecast for Saturday. We'll have the latest on the rain and the rest of your weekend weather coming up.
And good Friday evening to you. I'm Jason Dennis.
And I'm Barbara Goche. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Our top story, Columbus police say a bank robber is on the loose tonight. Shortly after noon today, detectives say a man went into the Wells Fargo on Mildred Road demanding the teller give him money. News Leader 9's Georgia Lease is live on the scene of the bank tonight. So, Georgia, do we know anything more about the suspect at this time?
Barbara, right now, all police have told us is that the suspect is believed to be African American. He had a red bandana covering his face at the time of the robbery, and when he drove off, he was believed to be in a tan Ford Taurus. If you take a look at your screen, this is an image taken from the surveillance footage where you can see the suspect holding a handgun at the teller. FBI detectives were on the scene this afternoon, although they told us the Columbus Police Department will be in charge of investigating this case. Detectives were dusting for fingerprints on the front door where the suspect walked into the bank this afternoon, and we have not received any reports of injuries at this time, and police have not yet confirmed exactly how much money was taken. Now, this Wells Fargo location on Mildred Road will remain closed until about Monday. So if you are a Wells Fargo customer and you need to make a transaction, the store manager here is asking that you use the Macon Road location or the location that's downtown. Barbara?
Yeah, quick question, Georgia. So how crowded was the bank when he walked in around noontime today? Seems like that's lunchtime, may have been quite a crowd in there.
You're absolutely right, Barbara. Any bank is going to be packed on a Friday. Police did not confirm exactly how many people were inside at the time of the robbery, but I'll tell you this, when we walked up, at least 20 people came up trying to access the bank and were turned away because it was still considered a crime scene. Barbara?
All right, Georgia, thank you. And we are told the Mildred Road Wells Fargo will reopen Monday morning.
Paris terror attack suspect Salah Abdeslam was captured Friday during a Belgian police raid in Brussels. A police source told Belgian broadcaster and CNN affiliate VTM that Abdeslam was shot in the leg and taken to the hospital.
VTM also reported a police operation was still happening at the home and 2 suspects could be inside. Earlier, the Belgian Federal Prosecutor's Office revealed the 26-year-old Abdeslam's fingerprints and DNA were found in a Brussels apartment raided 2 days earlier. The White House held a briefing on the capture.
I'll tell you that even in the minutes after the Paris attacks back in November, U.S. officials have been in close touch with national security and law enforcement officials in France and Belgium as they take steps to try to protect their country.
1 person was killed and 2 people escaped that operation, according to authorities. The man killed by Special Forces sniper was Mohamed Belkaid.
He's an Algerian who used the name Samir Bouzid. He is believed to have directed the November 13th Paris attackers.
Taking a look at our weather now for this Friday. Wasn't too cold today, but definitely started off a little rainy and definitely it felt a little cooler out there. You're taking a live look now from our Alpha Insurance Sky Cam from St. Francis Hospital.
And can we expect more overcast skies and maybe some clouds and rain for the weekend? Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Derek Kincaid, who's got the details.
That's right, guys. Rain on the way as we speak. You see on the radar network right now, showers heading into East Alabama, raining in Lee County, parts of Russell, Macon, and Bullitt counties as well. No lightning or thunder showing up, and we don't anticipate any issues with severe weather tonight. But the rain that we see out there is moving east. So if you live anywhere on the Georgia side of the river, prepare yourself maybe for some rain later on tonight. Have the umbrella handy if you have any plans out and about late on this Friday night. So we're going to keep those rain chances in your forecast. And don't forget, you can always get that hour-by-hour breakdown of the weather on that free WTVM weather app. Now, we'll also prepare you for some colder weather by Sunday and Monday. Check out these afternoon highs. Those overnight lows pretty chilly as well. And we'll have the details on that for you coming up, guys.
All right, thank you, Derek. Well, from women in Ranger School to shuffling around soldiers at Kelly Hill, Fort Benning has seen some major changes in the past year. Today, those changes continued as a new commander steps in. All new at 5 tonight, our Emily Arroyo joins us live from Fort Benning after spending the morning on post looking over some of these changes. Emily?
Jason, let me tell you, these guys have so many qualifications. Take a look at the bios for the exiting commanding general of the United States Maneuver Center of Excellence and the person who's replacing him. Quite a bit of experience and knowledge stepping into this job. Now, like you mentioned, a lot of changes, but the new brigadier general who's taking this position on says they're welcomed and he's going to tackle them with full force.
There's none that I'm bracing for because that would imply I'm under assault.
But the new Maneuver Center Commanding General Eric Wesley knows even more changes are ahead. Fort Benning will undergo logistic changes to welcome women into all of their specialty schools and units. After U.S. Defense Secretary Ash Carter announced this past December that women can serve in all combat positions without exceptions.
Based on my perspective of what I've seen to date, that is going to make us better. And so what the Army is doing is looking to more clearly define what the standards are.
Major General Scott Miller passed the position to Brigadier General Wesley on Friday during a ceremony on post. The two distinguished leaders spoke highly of each other at the ceremony attended by hundreds, with Wesley admiring Miller's service and physical strength despite a foot injury.
I have big shoes to fill, and I know that, and that's not a boot joke.
Miller has served as the commanding general at Fort Benning since July 2014 and is awaiting notification of his next assignment. The Major General left the position with these final words.
He can think big and make sure soldiers understand it. Ladies and gentlemen, Fort Benning, you're in better hands and you're going to get better. Thank you very much.
Wesley adds that despite downsizing and budget cuts, training here at Fort Benning is going to remain strong and that all the tactical operations will be held to the same standards, a lot of changes, but he is ready to tackle them. For now, reporting live outside of Fort Benning, I'm Emily Arroyo, WTVM News Leader 9.
All right, thank you so much, Emily. Generals at Fort Benning typically spend 1 to 3 years as commander there, dating back to 1918.
Well, Alabama lawmakers hit their halfway point this week, and a lot of problems facing them at the beginning of the year simply have not gone away.
Michael Dowden, of course, has been covering the legislature all year. As he shows us, it's been three main issues the entire year.
At the beginning of the year, there are three main issues for lawmakers: the budgets, the prison system, and the lottery. Halfway through, well, those issues are still facing lawmakers, although on the budget front, we have seen some movement. However, likely see a Governor Bentley veto if it gets to him, because while lawmakers will likely pass both soon, well, the general fund budget has an $85 million hit to Medicaid, which Bentley just doesn't believe the system can afford. Now, when it comes to prisons, well, the $800 million plan to build 4 new facilities has seen a lot of debate this month, but we didn't see any movement until this week as the bill was able to be passed out of committee. And that was with some issues, as lawmakers are concerned about how it will be constructed and paid for. Now, when it comes to a lottery, all the momentum is gone, as only one lottery bill has moved out of committee, and it seems to be dead on the floor thanks to vagueness. However, bills are starting to move, so the productiveness so far of this session really depends on which side you ask.
I don't necessarily know that I would give us a good grade. I would say that we're really lacking in terms of our responsibility to our constituents to really find the revenue to balance our budgets and to provide the essential services in the state of Alabama.
I think it's been good, a very productive session. And also, if you look in terms of the budgets, we're in a great position on the budgets.
All these big pieces of legislation are now in the Senate's hands, as both budgets are waiting, and also the Prison Transformation Act is also waiting for its time to hit the Senate floor. The lottery bills, well, that will have to also go through committee at some point in time, but if it does, it is expected to come out somewhere in the Senate. Reporting from Montgomery, I'm Michael Dowden for WTVM News Leader 9.
All right, Michael, thank you. We will, of course, continue to cover the rest of the session there in Alabama as it continues.
You can stay up to date with what's going on in the session in Alabama and also in Georgia on our website, WTVM.com.
A local donut shop in business for decades is closing its doors in Columbus. Very Best Donuts says they're closing down because of road work that has been taking place in the area for months. They say the road work at Avalon and Macon Roads has blocked the entrance to the local favorite, causing a downturn in business. The owners of the restaurant thanked customers for their support over the years.
I really want to thank all of my loyal customers throughout the years. They have supported my family along with my in-laws' family for many, many years. A lot of our customers became our friends. We had a great business day today because it's got out through social media that we were closing, but tomorrow's operation days will be from 6:30 to 2.
Sad to see. The donut shop has been in operation for over 35 years. The owners have set up a GoFundMe account for anyone who wants to help.
A lot of people love the Very Best Donuts. Well, taking place today, a local effort to help children in need just in time for the holiday. You're looking at video of the annual Easter shoe giveaway hosted by the Controllers Civic and Social Club. The shoes were distributed to roughly 1,000 children from Head Start centers in the Valley and also 3 Title I schools in Phoenix City. Today, those shoes were picked out at the Shoe Department Encore in Peachtree Mall in Columbus. The president of the Controllers shares the importance of this event today.
These children love it. They love it. They absolutely enjoy it. We adore it. We adore them. This is the best day for us, the day that we're giving away shoes. It's a great day for us.
And this is the 35th year the club has hosted this event.
It is always a good event every year. Coming up here on News Leader 9 to 5, the race to the White House is intensifying. Find out who's renewing pushes against Donald Trump, and we'll tell you where some of the candidates were out on the trail today.
Plus, a proposed merger between 2 major office supply companies is getting into some controversy today. Find out who's trying to block the merger and why.
And as we head to the commercial break, here's a look at your Colony Bank fish and game forecast for Saturday. Rain back in the forecast tomorrow, so maybe not the best of days out on the area lakes. We'll have more on what to expect for the weekend when we come back.
And be sure to tune in to 2020 tonight for a special report. ABC News' Diane Sawyer has the first sit-down interview with actress Kate Del Castillo.
Castillo was the woman at the center of the El Chapo capture after meeting with him while he was on the run. Be sure to tune in to the special report tonight at 10, 9 Central here on News Leader 9.
your live Doppler 9 forecast from WTVM Storm Team 9.
Well, today I want to extend our congratulations to Doris Cagle from Columbus for winning our WTVM and WTVM and Energy Savers umbrella. Don't forget to register to win. You can head over to the weather tab at WTVM.com. There's a link to register there, and you might need the umbrella as we get you ready for the upcoming weekend. That's one thing that's trending in our weather forecast is rain and storms possible on Saturday. Now, we expect the best overall coverage to be during the afternoon and evening. So if you're heading out for the big Uptown Food Truck Festival, Spring Food Truck Festival, I think early on the weather okay, but after 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when we'll start to see the rain chances going back up. So maybe have the umbrella with you just in case, or try to get out early for that if you can during the day on Saturday. Now, beyond this, much cooler weather on the way with a frost or freeze potential coming up around here as we head into Saturday and Monday and Tuesday morning of next week. Let's check out these overnight lows because these numbers going down in a big way, back down to about 36 Monday, 37 on Tuesday, and keep in mind this is not a one number kind of place. We're going to see a lot of variation in temperature. I would expect to see maybe a variation from 31 to 40 degrees across the Chattahoochee Valley. So again, that frost or freeze potential very real for us early next week on Monday and Tuesday. Beyond that, we start to warm things back up though next week. By the middle of next week, should be back in the 60s and 70s, and then maybe some storms rolling back in here by Friday. Just rain rolling in tonight. Here's a check of the radar network. Some sprinkles in South Columbus. Elsewhere in East Alabama, the rain a bit more widespread. Take you up to Lee County, Auburn, and Opelika, seeing some showers here as we get you down to the street level. Looks like the south side of Auburn getting the heaviest rain at the moment, with mainly light showers over in Opelika, but still I-85 a little wet there coming through Lee County all the way up to LaGrange as well. Some showers in progress. Now the rain moving from west to east out there. So as we look at the even bigger picture view, we find more rain south of Birmingham. All that's heading in our direction. And then as we check the temperatures, we find the rain has cooled some folks down. It's now 69 in Auburn, Columbus down to 73, but still 77 in Thomaston and 76 over in Taylor County and Reynolds, where it's been dry so far today. Here's the big picture. Some stormy weather down here near the Gulf. A severe thunderstorm watch in effect for parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas, but more rain that has to move our way. So several different rounds of rain coming. We think the first happening right now through tonight. And then during the overnight hours, we should see the rain coming to an end. By Saturday, we start the day dry, and then in the afternoon and evening, there are some more showers, some more storms to deal with, and then the drier air will start to build back in as we head into your Sunday, leading to those much cooler temperatures in the extended forecast. So let's get a look at lows out there tonight. Or first, actually look at your beach forecast for those heading on spring break down at Panama City. A stormy Saturday. Sunday and Monday look good weather-wise. The same story over in Destin, and we'll take you over into Gulf Shores, Alabama as well. Storms Saturday. The sun returns, though, Sunday and Monday. Lows tonight down in the 50s, maybe some low 60s. Highs tomorrow back up there in the upper 60s and low 70s. Then as we get you set for the next 9 days, we've got some big changes on the way. Alert days Monday, Tuesday, not for severe storms, but for cold temperatures, at least frost or freeze potentials there early in the morning hours, guys.
And the kids in Muskogee County anyway are going to be out of school next week for spring break, so it's going to be a little bit mixed, a little cool, and then warming up toward the end of the week.
They'll have all kinds of weather all week long. They'll have sunshine, they'll have storms, cold weather, and warm weather.
And this morning it did rain to start off things a little bit, but it didn't really feel humid out there. It still felt pretty nice.
Yeah, and it's going to be not bad tomorrow either, even though we'll have the rain coming in. Temperatures 60s and 70s for Saturday. And
I know you mentioned this, but and I'm going to apologize. I wasn't paying close attention. So down at the beach, is it going to be pretty warm all week?
Not warm early. I think they'll have the same kind of weather we will. Right.
Yeah.
Cool early, warm later during the week. So if you're putting off that beach trip till next weekend, looks a little bit better.
Okay. Good information.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
A man who Kurdish authorities say was captured trying to leave ISIS territory says he is a U.S. citizen from Virginia. Analysts say he's very likely the first American fighter to defect from ISIS in the field. Kurdish officials say he is 26-year-old Mohammed Jamal Kawais. They say they captured him trying to leave ISIS territory in Iraq and flee home. He spoke in an interview that aired on a Kurdish news outlet, now announcing his intentions. A high school friend is reacting today.
It's really, it's upsetting. It really sucks. It's something you feel for his family. It's just not something that you would ever think would happen. He definitely wasn't the type of person. He wasn't an angry person. He wasn't an outcast by any means.
Analysts say 84 Americans have been charged with ISIS-related offenses, and 26-year-old Kawais could be next on the list. Law enforcement officials are now trying to find out whether he acted alone in moving toward ISIS and who might have recruited him.
Well, in the race for the White House today, Democratic presidential candidates Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton back on the campaign trail. Two are getting ready for 3 states set to vote on Tuesday.
Arizona, Idaho, and Utah will head to the polls next week. Today, Sanders was campaigning in Flagstaff, Arizona. Clinton's super PAC also released a new television ad. It targets Donald Trump, using some statements he made himself on several news interviews.
For the Republicans, the fight to stop frontrunner Donald Trump is picking up steam today. Top conservatives meeting in Washington trying to block Trump's path to the nomination, raising the possibility of a third-party option. Trump hitting back at his opponents in his own way, taking to his free attack at platforms of choice, social media, with a series of posts aimed at Ted Cruz and Hillary Clinton. House Speaker Paul Ryan spoke about the possibility of him running for president.
Nobody should say such things, in my opinion, because to even address or hint to violence is unacceptable. It's not going to be me. It should be somebody running for president.
A top Trump aide threatened to give up his credentials as a convention delegate and leave the Republican Party if Trump is blocked from the nomination.
Straight ahead here on the news at 5, Uber has become the choice of many for taxi services.
Now, one American city is setting up service across the border. We'll tell you where coming up. A dispute between the Federal Trade Commission and Staples and Office Depot is escalating today. According to USA Today, the CEO of Staples and Office Depot sent a letter to the FTC after they announced they will try to block the merger. A federal court is set to hear the $6.3 billion bid for the two to merge. Regulators are concerned that the two companies hold too much sway over the market for office supplies sold directly to businesses. Two companies have several locations here in the Valley.
A previous deal struck between Starwood Hotels and Marriott is reportedly no more. USA Today reports Starwood is no longer selling itself to Marriott after another group of investors made a better deal. Starwood says China-based company Insurance JC Flowers and Company and Primavera Capital Limited offered to pay more per share. Starwood says it will still give Marriott until March 28th to make a new offer. That deal would have created the largest hotel company in the entire world.
Uber is launching cross-border service between Mexico and the United States. The popular ride-sharing service says Uber Passport allows riders to travel one way from San Diego to Tijuana.
Uber officials say they chose those two cities to launch Passport because they are sister communities that are closely linked. As for how much such an Uber trip would cost, prices begin with a $4 base rate, 30 cents per minute, and $2.35 per mile.
Pretty cool there.
I see all that traffic there.
I know, going across the border there.
I would hate to be an Uber driver there.
And you're paid by the, by the minute.
Yeah,
so the longer you stay in traffic, the more they make.
Keep the meter running. Yeah. That does it for the news at 5. We're back with more late-breaking headlines in just a few minutes.
The news at 5:30 is coming up next. We'll have your extended forecast for the weekend. And remember, get updates anytime by downloading our free WTVM News app or heading to WTVM.com.